Well, leader of the opposition and economist Arnhim Eustace is predicting that this country will see a deficit in excess of $140 million this year. Speaking at a news briefing earlier this week, Eustace said that the economy continues to be a major worry for this country as things are getting worse. He said with little or negative growth for the past 5 years, there is nothing to be proud of given the economic performance. He said he expects the government to continue to spend more than it can earn from taxes.
We expect businesses which are normally involved in the sale of such items to have a significant decline in their profit margins this year because of lower sales. And this will also result in a decline in company taxes paid. This situation will be made worse by the fact that the government continues to owe the private sector millions of dollars. This has led and will continue to lead to higher overdrafts, recovering increased expenditure on the part of the private sector, and again will result in less profits being realized. I however expect a slight improvement in the construction sector because of repairs to roads and buildings associated with the flooding.
The opposition leader said Vincentians must look at the situation against the backdrop of increased NIS contributions being required of employers and employees, including the government, this year.
Banana exports are expected to be very low, and therefore our balance of trade in relation to goods will decline further when compared with our imports. With respect to the financing of projects this year, the Leeward Highway will be delayed, the international airport will not be completed, and according to the actual document that our estimate was approved on the 9th of December last year, we know that the government had borrowed $212 million to go towards airport construction. However, despite the claims to the effect that the airport will be completed in 2014, the amount of money provided in the estimates of revenue and expenditure for 2014 is only $97 million. So the airport will not be completed in 2014.
The rights to religious freedom can be expressed openly by any individual based on Section 16 of this country's constitution. That's according to Prime Minister Dr. Gonsalves, who was at the time addressing the opening ceremony of a 3-day conference on religious liberty, the law and international security, hosted by the local Seventh-day Adventist organization. Dr. Gonsalves outlined that there are 6 subsections in the Constitution that stipulate the fundamental rights to religious freedom of any person.
Except with his own consent, a person shall not be hindered in the enjoyment of his freedom of conscience. That is to say, except with his own consent. Shall not be hindered in the enjoyment of his freedom of conscience, including freedom of thought and of religion, freedom to change his religion or belief, and freedom either alone or in community with others, and both in private and in public, to manifest and propagate his religion or belief in worship, teaching.
Continuing to quote from the Constitution, Dr. Gonsalves added that a person, except with his own consent, attending a place of education, detained in any prison or institution, shall not be required to receive religious instruction or take part in a religion that is not his own.
If we go somewhere and somebody is preaching in a public place and you don't want it, if you don't want it, you can get up and walk away. Or you can just simply sit down, acquiesce, and let them say what they're saying. But if you leave, it's your right to do so.
Meanwhile, the Prime Minister, in presenting philosophical and practical points on religious liberty, noted that the Bible is the best document on the issue of religious liberty.
Discussion of religious liberty, while I've addressed the issue philosophically, While I've addressed the issue constitutionally and in law, the foundation stones are in the Bible.
St. Vincent and the Grenadines and the rest of the region is being urged to take the production of cassava more seriously by incorporating the crop in beer and bread. Speaking at the handing over of $320,000 to the Ministry of Agriculture by the FAO, Representative Dipchandra Ford said one beer company in the region has already taken up the challenge by establishing acres of lands to grow cassava to use for the brewing of beers. He noted that other beer companies in the region should adopt the same approach.
The other beer companies to bring cassava into their beer as well. Beer from cassava mixed is being sold all over Africa right now successfully. We need to do it here within the region.
Ford noted that the FAO is willing to work with farmers to have cassava blended to make bread for commercial purposes.
We're not saying that we're going to substitute 100% of the wheat and flour, but we can substitute 30%, 40% that makes that bread just as good as any other bread. As a matter of fact, it'll be a better quality bread, and we want to, this is already happening in 1 or 2 countries, and we see a great opportunity there for cassava, and we want to work with the bakeries, we want to work with the feed millers in every country to incorporate cassava as a part of their food and feed production.
6 local farmers will have the opportunity to be part of a 2-week training program in Taiwan. Representative of the Taiwanese mission, Chin Yu Lee, says the training, which will run from March 24th to April 3rd, will see the farmers being trained by a prominent farmers group in Taiwan, where they will learn different cultivation techniques.
Which the group produce sweet pepper for 2 million kilos per year. So in my organization, Taiwan ICDF, negotiate with this farmer group, about 20 members, to accept our farmer to stay with them, to see their full operation in greenhouse cultivation of sweet peppers, and the collection, grading, packing, and export.
He noted that the training is a starting point for a functional farmers group in this country.
6 farmers came back from Taiwan, then we could work with 6 farmers and other newly formed farmer groups to introduce those experiences and some innovative technique to the farmer group. So we hope this initiative will encourage farmers to the future's cooperation between St. Vincent and Taiwan.
Vincentians interested in expressing their vocal abilities will have an opportunity to do so next month. This when the Karoake Groovers, a non-profit organization, stage a national karaoke competition that's to be Competition Night of Champions as part of its 15th anniversary. President of Karoake Groovers, David Debique, told SVG-TV News that the competition seeks to foster relations with various karaoke houses in St. Vincent and the Grenadines.
And more so to enhance better relations between members of the community, mainly in the Karoake area. And the reason for specifying Karoake is simply because of the fact that the group originated out of Karoake. So we want to make sure, celebrating some 15 years, we would give back to the community in itself.
And the founder of the group, Rohan, is inviting Vincentians who are interested in karaoke entertainment to be part of the upcoming event.
Just want to invite all the karaoke fans out there to participate in such a great event called Night of Champions. Is a way of communicating with each other and making the best out of karaoke in St. Vincent and Grenadines. And we all started with singing. You know, you love singing, you love what you do, just come out and let it all out.
The preliminaries are expected to take place on March the 1st, the semi-finals on Saturday 29th, and the finals on Sunday, April 19th. The members of the Karoake Groovers say the organization has made contributions to schools, the elderly, in the form of food baskets, scholarships, bags, and uniforms.